Hey, Shalom, Meshach. I want to start off source by giving all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and honors you both doing work and truth while sincerity. So, a quick one. So this is inspired by a conversation that I was just having in the chat. On basically how Esau's systems. He said, "Oh, we're gonna do this for you. We're gonna do that for you," and then one of the brothers basically said, the house always wins, right? First referring to, like, Esau will always be like, "Oh, we'll do this for you, we'll take care of you, this, that, and the other," right? But the thing is, the house always wins, right? But then he followed it up by saying, "But what Esau doesn't understand is, what do you call it? The house is your house," based roughly paraphrasing, or basically saying that it's the Most High's house, right? So although Esau thinks that it's his house and he wins, right? He doesn't understand. He's the puppet, man, right? And it's ultimately the Most High who wins, because it's all the Most High's movie, right? This is all the Most High's epic, right? This is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? So this man is in rulership all over the world. That's why the whole world has had more or less the same response to this quote unquote crisis, this farce of a crisis, right? Which is proof that this man's kingdom is coming to an end. The fact that you've basically seen this happen, right? From what is really nothing. You might be like, oh, but for instance, the ONS, Office of National Statistics here in the UK, oh, they said like last week, more people have died, than it basically 6,000 more people have died than ever before. When you actually look at the numbers, right? That was that for that particular week. So, for instance, week one of 2020 was that first week in January. Week two, week three, up to week 52, right? So for that week, I believe it was week 12, week 16, I forget. People have basically died. More people have died than average. But then you actually look that in the last 4 years, that's not even the peak, right? That in the peak of that in Europe was in 2016, 2017, where for whatever reason more people than unexpected died, right? So that's basically proven that they're using this particular thing. That's what it says in 2 Corinthians 2:11, right? We are not ignorant of Satan's devices, right? And that's one of the things that this truth teaches you, is to look into things, right? To be a critical thinker. Esau will say one thing, okay, cool, what do you mean by that, right? You fact check him, right? Just sort of like how, for instance, you read Sirach, the 13th chapter, 23rd verse, speaks about when a rich man speaketh, every man extolleth to the cloud. Right? When a poor man speak, every man overthrows. That's why, for instance, the apostles on down, they've been teaching about where the Israelites, where the Israelites, where the Israelites. So no one really wanted to listen, right? But then when some Edomite speaks or whatever, or some mega church person, a pastor speaks or whatever, people want to listen to them. Right, but really, we're the ambassadors of truth. We're starting with the apostles on down, right? We're the ones who fact check and are able to say, okay, cool, we go and verify that. That's verified. Just like how in this world people are like, oh, what's your source, right? For us, it's the apostles. It's like, well, the apostles said this is what it is. That's what it is, right? So we're the authority on truth upon the earth, right? So it says Job 9:24, right? It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? So who gave the earth into the hand of the wicked? The Most High, right? The Most High gave the earth into the hand of the wicked. One, to teach the children of Israel a lesson, right? Also to fulfill prophecies. Second Ezra 6:9, or for Esau is the end of the world, right? And Jacob's the beginning of it that followeth, right? And really starts in verse 8, right? Because it speaks about the birth of Jacob and Esau, right? Saying, in fact, let me grab that real quick. Let me grab that. Let me grab that real quick. It's a second Ezra up. Right, it says, and he said, second Ezra 6:8, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, right? Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. So that one particular event, one which goes to show you whatever's written in the scripture is written for a reason, right? Which is why certain bits of information aren't written, because they weren't pertinent, or they were a secret, right? Because you had certain instances that when basically the Most High would reveal. I believe it happened to Ezra, but don't quote me on that. Is it Ezra's? I know. Is it Ezra's or John the Revelator? I forget which one. Basically things were revealed unto him, and then Lord said, "But don't write that down." Right. um basically going into the fact that some things were meant to be secret, right? But what was written there of Jacob basically coming after Esau and holding Esau was representative of verse 9, right? It says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth," right? So basically Jacob is going to pull Esau down from his perch, right? The Israelites, right? And we ain't going to do it of our own power because we've got no power. That's what the scripture says, Jacob, thy won, because we haven't got no power, man. Right? This is Daniel 7:18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Right? And like once again, this is through Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Right? We can't take this man down. That's why in fact we're not allowed to take this man down. Right? We have been given orders from above not to try to do anything. Right? All we can do is go out there and teach, which through the spirit is bringing this man down. But physically, we ain't got no arsenals against this man. That's why the scriptures say this in Zephaniah 3:8. Right? Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. Right? It says, "For my determination, my judgment." When you look up this word, it's shapat. My shapat's like, right, being in judgment, right? It says, "Until the day that I rise up to the prey, for my determination, my judgment is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation of righteous anger, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy." Right? So we've been commanded, right, to wait and teach, right? Because in teaching, all these men waking up all around the world, and it's beautiful, right? Seeing, people waking up all over the world, right? Which is why ultimately the apostles pushed that whole thing of, well, these guys are still, these other camps are still teaching Israel, right? Because for instance, there's one guy, he's a Romanian guy over there in the land of Romania, right? And he said, yeah, it's good, teach the Israelites, teach about Israel, whatever, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, he believes in a different name, right? But it just goes to show you, and he looks like a quote unquote Romanian man, looks like a so-called white man, but he's out there, and he knows about Israel, right? And if the Lord have mercy, because I've said, yeah, but his real name is such and such and such, right? But if the Lord have mercy on him, right, then he will, what do you call it? He will call the right name, right? The Lord might open his eyes to see the name, to know his name, right? So that's there as proof that throughout the world, and Esau's seeing this. That's why the scriptures say this. That's why he knows he's got a short time, because he's seeing all these men all around the world. You got a brother. He commented on the live camp last week from Italy, man. It was the last week or the week before, from Italy, GMS Italia. My brother's over there in Germany, right? One of the brothers in our camp does videos in them Turkish. You have people on the comment board saying, asking for information, man. Right? It's Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come unto you, having great wrath. Right? And he was the devil that's representative of Esau, the so-called white man, the deceiver. Right? And one of the deceptions we're living through right now. Right? That's why you go outside and everyone's wearing masks, and everyone's scared. Everyone's staying 2 meters apart from each other. And if you're too close, people are getting antsy and pantsy. Right? Because I would just when I went to the shops earlier on, stood behind this woman. She's all looking at me like, "Oh, fuck this, man." So I took a couple of steps back. Right, I took a couple of steps back, but it's like that's how that's how crazy. And this shows you that Esau has power over these people. Right, the fact he can just put out some stuff in the media and everyone just outright believes it without actually thinking critically. Right, and looking into things again. But as soon as they look into it, it's like, "Oh, you're conspiracists, this, that, and the other," right? But once again, going into the fact that when you actually look into what's going on right now, this is nothing. Right? You look into the adjusted numbers for the 2009 swine flu that infected 700 million to 1 billion people. right, and killed 200,000, right? Yet none of this happened, right? HIV has killed, I believe it's certainly hundreds of thousands, but I believe it's in the millions this year alone, right? It's certainly significantly more than this whole corona, right? So that's how why we know that he's coming down in the way he is, because and that's all we have to do. We don't need to go on the gun range, right? The very fact that starting with the apostles on down, right? This word is going out, and he's still seeing all these guys, all these different brothers, let me say, waking up all across the world. That's getting at him, right? Says finish off Job 9:24. Says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the Most High has given the power over the earth, the entire earth, into the hand of the wicked. Right? He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right? And who's the number one judge? Yahushai. And he's covered, his face by trying to present him as a so-called white man, but that ain't how he looks. It's Daniel 2:21, and he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. So this is Most High, right? In fact, I believe I should start on 20. It says, Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of Yahweh forever and ever. And that's another thing. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. Proverbs 18:10, right? It says, For wisdom and might are his. Right, and he changeth the times and seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. So Esau's been set up by the Most High, as we'll get in other precepts, right? See, Esau might think that this is his house, and on earth currently is his house, right? And he's winning, right? So, to reiterate the point the brother made, the house always wins, right? But who gave him the keys to the house? You get them shows where the mayor gives someone the keys to the city or whatever. Well, who gave Esau the keys to the house? It was the Most High, right? It says, and setteth up kings, right? And giveth wisdom unto the wise, and knowledge to them that know understanding. Right, he revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth, and that's been given to the apostles, and through the apostles, right? This truth has come out, and their teachers, right? This truth has come out, and deep and secret things, because some of the things that we know now, we somewhat take for granted. Even the very fact that the Most High is a so-called black man. Yahushua is a so-called black man, right? For us, it's like, yeah, it's obvious, but there's some people who just cannot see that, right? There's some people that just cannot see that. There's some people that are offended at that. Right? The very notion that, the Most High and the Son could be, so-called black man. Right? And that goes back into the wickedness and the witchcraft of this man, but ultimately to the fact that the Most High doesn't want these people to get it. Isaiah 6:9, right? Matthew 13, 16 through 19, right? Which really is just a quote of Isaiah 6, 9, 10, and 6, 9, and 10. So he says in Matthew 13:16, blessed are your eyes, for they see. So we are blessed to have this truth. It's, Barak De'ah B'Hashem Yahshua, we have this truth, right? So, and I'll get the next precept, Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. Right, so the Most High is the real ruler. Once again, the Most High is the ones with the keys to the house, right? So although Job 9:24 says the earth is given in his hand the wicked, so Esau's got the keys to the house at the moment, right? So he's winning, but the Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua is the landlord, right? And he's coming back to take his unpaid rent, right? It says, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over at the base of man. Esau's the base of man. That's why you got Chinese walking around. When you say anything bad about them, you're thrown under the jail, man. Right? You might punch a man, right? And then you get done for a fray, or for assault or whatever, ABH or GBH, which is what why so many different different titles for the same thing. That's why Isaiah 10:1, I want to them that decree and righteous decrees, right? All of these different classifications of laws, right? Which is ultimately the same thing, right? And then what do you call it? What is yeah? So, but then you might punch a man, you get done for assault or whatever, right? But if you call a man a Mo and then punch him, that's a hate crime. Now you're doing some real time, right? It says, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, right? So this is proof to us, right? Because when you come into truth, you understand who this man is, right? You see him for the weasel he is. You just have to be like, you know what, the Most High is in charge, and these heathen nations, they're gonna see it in the kingdom, right? They're gonna be like, is this the man that made the earth to tremble? Because he's gonna be a weasel again, right? Because he ain't gonna have that blessing of the sword, right? Um, Man, I forgot what I wanted to get. If it comes back, it comes back. Right, but in fact, it says Sirach 10:4, right? Just to prove that the house always wins, and that house, the landlord, is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? It says the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable, right? So yeah, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he'll set over it one that is profitable, and that is the children of Israel, right? Because the landlord's gonna come back, because the house always wins, man, right? You know, the owner of the house is Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. He's one, man. I mean, this is a story. You know, he was one before from before the foundation of the earth. He was one because the elect were from before the foundation of the earth, man. Right. So as always, laws without edifying. To the next time. Shalom.